If you're looking for a bike that actually fits into your cramped apartment, stays reliable day after day, and feels like a good use of your hard-earned cash, you're probably wondering if the Aviron Fit Bike Touring Edition is the right call. Most of us have tried a treadmill that took up half the living room, a dumbbell set that kept rolling around, or a cheap spin bike that squeaked at the first incline change. The fear of spending a few $100s on something that ends up as a permanent eyesore or a piece of equipment that you dread using is real, and that's why today we're digging into what life really feels like with this bike. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. First impressions matter, and the Aviron's biggest promise is its touring design, a compact frame that you can slide behind a couch or tuck into a hallway without sacrificing the feel of a studio bike. When the box arrived, the packaging was tight but manageable. The bike comes pre-assembled enough that you only need to attach the touchscreen and tighten a few bolts. In practice, the whole setup took me about 15 minutes with a single screwdriver, which is a relief compared to the half-day assembly nightmares you hear about with other home gym machines. The 22-inch HD screen flips up into a sturdy hinge, and the whole thing feels solid enough that you can lean against it while you're sprinting through a class without hearing any wobble. Now, the real question is whether the bike lives up to its endless workout options claim once you're actually riding it day after day. The Aviron pairs its magnetic resistance with a freewheel mode that lets you coast between intervals, mimicking the natural push and pull of an outdoor ride. I found the resistance curve to be smooth and responsive. A quick tap on the touchscreen moves you from a gentle warm-up to a tough hill climb in seconds, and the electromagnetic system stays whisper quiet, so you can stream a show or take a conference call without anyone noticing you're on a bike. The game-based workouts are the most novel part. You're essentially racing a virtual avatar through a series of levels that adapt to your cadence and power output. For someone who gets bored with repetitive intervals, this adds a genuine dopamine hit. You're less likely to cheat on the timer because the game keeps you engaged. If you're someone who watches a lot of streaming content while you train, the built-in apps are a mixed bag. Aviron's native platform offers live classes and on-demand sessions, and the screen is large enough to read subtitles or glance at a recipe while you pedal. However, the system isn't a full Android TV. You can't just download Netflix or YouTube directly onto the bike. Instead, you need to use the Aviron app on your phone and cast the screen, which works fine on a strong Wi-Fi network but can lag if your router is at the other end of the house. In my apartment, the cast was smooth most of the time, but on a rainy day with the ISP throttling, I noticed a few seconds of stutter during the most intense sprint intervals. If you need a truly plug-and-play streaming experience without a phone, you might look elsewhere. Connectivity goes beyond just casting. The bike syncs with major fitness trackers, so your heart rate data, cadence, and power numbers automatically flow into Strava, Apple Health, or Google Fit. The data export is useful if you're trying to track progress over months or compare workouts across different machines. One practical advantage here is the freewheel mode I mentioned earlier. Because the resistance isn't tied to a mechanical flywheel, you can set the bike to a low resistance, hop off, and still have accurate cadence readings for a quick warm-up jog on the spot. It's a small touch, but it means the bike can double as a low-impact cardio option when your legs need a break from the heavy intervals. Who should consider buying this bike? If you live in a small space, value a quiet machine, and want a mix of structured classes plus gamified rides, the Aviron Fit Bike Touring Edition hits a sweet spot. It's also a good fit for families where one person might want a high-intensity class while another just wants to cruise on the freewheel without disturbing the whole household. The premium construction, a steel frame with a matte black finish, holds up well to daily use, and the warranty on the electromagnetic resistance system is solid, which eases the worry about long-term wear. On the flip side, there are clear reasons to walk away. If you're a hardcore cyclist who needs a road bike feel, the magnetic resistance, while smooth, doesn't replicate the exact torque curve of a real chain-driven spin bike, and the lack of a built-in crank length adjustment can feel limiting for taller riders. The screen, though crisp, is locked into Aviron's ecosystem, so you're essentially buying a subscription-heavy platform. If you already have a library of Peloton or Zwift classes you love, the extra cost of moving to a new app could be